battleground picture up. They see a black screen. Welcome to the Realest podcast. I'm Duke Nukem. Oh, no laughs. Not funny. Am I not that funny, guys?
I'm just tired.
Because we are live right now.
Oh boy.
Right now we are live.
Right now.
Right now.
I don't know
As
what
we
to say
speak.
then.
Hi guys, my name's Roman Reigns. Big Roman Reigns fan. What is up with Roman Reigns in this picture? What is up with this picture in general? It looks bad. This picture looks all screwed up, to be completely honest with you. Not talking wrestling yet. How about that, huh? I gotta get one picture before like everything happens. What a show. What a night. What a night. Um,
A lot
yeah,
of unexpected events today.
yeah. I mean, I'm just saying the exact way that Sasha won that title. I called that before WrestleMania.
Yeah, but we all thought it was gonna be SummerSlam.
Honestly, I think what happened is WWE was listening to the show one day, so this guy thinks it's going to be SummerSlam. What's going on, Juan? What's going on, Reckless? Juan says Roman's lost as fuck. He was doing good. That he fought good. He did. He was doing good. He fought good. And then Reckless says fuck Raw. Wow, very unexpected. You guys ready? Black screen. So what do you guys think of Monday Night Raw tonight?
No, I'm definitely still not uh, interested in the 3 hours, but there was a lot of good matches today. I was very impressed. I like the two fatal four-way matches. I absolutely love the women's championship match. That should have been our main event.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
they outdid that main event. They outdid it.
Finn Balor couldn't do
No,
nearly enough to make up for what we just saw with that women's championship
not at
match.
all. And Sasha did the Scorpion.
Oh, that was painful.
It was very painful. Kyle's actually having internet troubles, everyone. So, again, we're going to try to keep him into everything. It might be just myself and Andrew. Um, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, who will win? Um, Too soon to tell, really. I mean, I don't want to say why push Finn Balor as hard as you are, but then again, it's like, well,
I honestly think it would be good to push Balor. I mean, as Kyle, brought up yesterday, the idea that Roman Reigns is the only face, like real big baby face right now in the company, and it'll be good to have Finn Balor kind of assume that role while Roman Reigns kind of takes like a backdoor route while we wait
oh
for him to kind of
no, go ahead. I thought we had Kyle go.
okay, while we kind of wait for him to get back into the main event picture after this whole drug scandal.
Yeah, Reckless says the only good match of the night was the Divas Championship. I disagree. I think every single Fatal 4-Way was a good match. I
Absolutely.
thought the main event was a very good match. We got introduced back to squash matches. If you guys are hardcore fans, you know what squash matches are. You basically experience them when you have the person you're pushing come out and the person in the ring doesn't get an introduction and it's over in about 5 seconds. And I am sorry for the guy that faced Braun Strowman.
Oh man, that was terrible.
With heart.
That reminds me of like the old classic Goldberg matches, man. The 5 second matches. Braun Strowman comes in there and dominates the kid. You know what? As long as I got two fists, I can pull this out.
And we have Kyle. Kyle, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
All right. So, what do you think of Monday Night Raw tonight?
I really thought it was a great show. Like, I liked pretty much every single minute of it except seeing the shining stars. That was my real downside of it. Everything else was pretty damn great. I
Let's
loved
just
it.
say this: it felt very refreshing. Michael Cole was very he
It
was
did.
he was
He,
stand like
he was annoying.
I wouldn't even say he was annoying. I wasn't being like, oh my god, Cole. Corey Graves sounded really good, and I think Corey Graves and Byron Saxton feed off each other very well. Byron Saxton's a great interviewer, by the way. I love the new intro. Who will face Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam? We need to find out. We will find out tomorrow. Couldn't have said it any better. One. Yeah, more than likely we'll find out tomorrow. I love the new intro. I do too, but now we have to sit down and think, will SmackDown do better than what Raw did today? Because every hour was solid. Maybe the second, toward the end of the second hour, maybe wasn't as solid. And I'm just saying, I think there's a ghost in my house because my chair, my other office chair, just
Well,
moved a little bit.
the women's championship match was at second hour. That's what capped the
No,
second hour.
or mid second hour when Enzo and Cass came out. Well, no, that's the very beginning of the third hour, or mid third hour. Because here's the great thing about this women's championship: they had the perfect amount of time with this match being 30 minutes. That was a 30-minute match, 30 to 20-minute match. It was perfect. Starts off slow and then ends with a bang. I mean, like we said, dude, Sasha got hit with the scorpion. If you guys don't know what that is, watch Ridiculousness. That's where I'm getting that from. Matthew Clausen says, "Holy shit, welcome back, Matthew. I hope at SummerSlam 4 horsemen or horsewomen for the WWE Championship." No, that's not going to happen. I can tell you right now, SummerSlam is probably going to be the rematch between Sasha Banks and Charlotte. Roman Reigns did not turn heel. Yes, we know that. All he said really was, "I respect that dude." I mean, it's all he really could
I was
say.
waiting for him to come running back in there and hitting him, and I was like, damn. As
He
soon
made
as he
that.
said,
He
I
made that
respect
look.
him, I was like, damn it.
He turned around and gave that look. I was like, here it is. Here it is. But everything with Raw felt very, very refreshing. The new intro from Shinedown was amazing.
The red ropes.
Yes, the red ropes. I love it. The only thing I'm having to get used to is these new camera angles and the announce table not being on the side. And I was watching wrestling when the Raw announce table was by the stage. I was watching them, but I don't know. It's odd now. Still, it's still kind of odd seeing that. So,
hmm
uh,
Well, what about the Universal Championship? What are your thoughts on the name of that? Because
it's
like I
awful.
know it was gonna
Are
happen,
we going to
but it's
Universal
like the
Studios?
worst. Yeah, I know it's like the worst title name I've never heard. It's almost as bad as the Internet Champion.
Yeah, the WWE World Heavy or World Universal Champion. What?
I was like, what are they thinking?
Yeah. Zach says I'm tired of Charlotte, but that's the great thing about Charlotte is she's annoying and that's her character. That's what she's great at of doing. Um, is Kyle Hill? Kyle, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm having some difficulties, but I'm still trying to stay here.
Okay, Optimus Prime.
Man
My
down,
internet's kind of
man
crazy. I don't know what's happening.
down.
Yeah,
Um,
dude, help me, man.
a lot of people were actually complaining that Finn Balor had his debut the way he did. What's next for Roman Reigns?
I
Only
don't know
time will
how.
tell.
Really?
With Roman
No,
Reigns,
did great. That was a great view. Everything about it.
yeah, I mean, I can understand what people are saying if
What?
Finn would have lost. But since Finn won, it's kind of like, okay, defeats the purpose of having his own, like, huge intro. Because at first, I didn't even see him on the stage whenever they announced his name. So I was like,
No, because he was hiding in the back with
so
Kevin Owens.
it was like, why? And then, I was going to say this if he lost. What's the point of even putting him in that match if to lose, But it's good to see him win. I think he looked good. You think Roman Reigns will face someone at SummerSlam? Yes, because Roman Reigns sells tickets. That's just the god
Roman
honest
Reigns will
truth.
face Braun
Every single
Strowman.
person that hates Roman Reigns buys a ticket. The only way to get it where you stop seeing Roman Reigns is not to buy a ticket. That's the god honest truth. You buy a ticket, you are supporting Roman Reigns. Like him or not, but that's the great thing about the WWE. You can like him or you can dislike him. That's just me. He'll still sell tickets. Again, it's way too soon to even say, well, who's he going to face next? It's way too soon. He just lost this match. There's no telling. Reckless says, I think they're pushing Finn a little too much. No. They've been saying it for months that when he came to the main roster, he's going to get a big-ass push, and he
hmm
deserves it. The guy
And
can get people behind him.
you can't afford to do what you did with Adrian Neville. Like, Adrian
No.
Neville came up, and they completely ruined his character.
No reaction when he came out.
Yeah, and I hate that. He's so good, man.
He is very good. Um, I could tell you this: they won't do that with Bailey. I don't. Bailey doesn't want to be pushed like that. I doubt they'll do that with Bailey. I was honestly waiting for it whenever they interviewed Sasha right after. I was like, Bailey's music's gonna hit. Here it comes.
It better not. It better not. And then all of a sudden it did, and I was like, yes.
Zach says Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose. I could see that. That's probably the best option they have on that roster, to be
Mm.
honest. Because I don't, or a triple
The
threat
only
match for
option.
it,
So.
or a triple threat, which would be dumb. I want to see AJ Styles versus John Cena 2 at SummerSlam. So that's just me. Man, try squash matches, or enhancement matches, which is basically where you get the local wrestling company or promotions will actually have someone from their local wrestling company, which we saw two people wrestle. We saw that for Nia Jax, which was in maybe 5 seconds. She looked great, and then Braun Strowman, who in my opinion did not look all that great with the ending. I mean, his his
The reverse choke
his
slam.
theme music. Roar!
It's just him screaming like, "What the
You know
hell
what?
was
They're
that?"
they're they're pushing Braun Strowman, which is what we knew that they were gonna do. We knew that Vince was into it. But whenever I look back on Braun Strowman now that he's apart from the Wyatt family, all I see is Gene Snitsky. And I don't know if any of you guys were watching
Oh yeah,
Raw
dude,
when
the guy
Snitsky
that
was
killed Lita's
around, man.
baby.
Oh my God, yes. Like that's all I picture with Braun Strowman with his entrance music.
He cut it, obviously. Guy cut his hair. He's got to look different somehow if he's going to be doing stuff by himself. Talking about Braun Strowman, by the way. Um, I don't know. What would you guys rate tonight's Raw? I gave last week a 6.
It's definitely better than a 6. I don't know. Maybe I'm
You're
just too
absolutely right, but let's
generous.
take into
Oh,
consideration. I
absolutely.
give it an 8. That was great. I give that an 8.
I think eight's good, because I mean, like you got
Yeah.
the Fatal 4-Way matches, which were outstanding. You had the women's championship match, which is probably going to be the match of the week. I mean, let's face it. I don't think anything on SmackDown's going to top that.
You're right.
But I mean, and
Well, no,
that's
I
just
wouldn't say
a
you're
tip
right.
tip of the hat to Sasha and Charlotte.
We're gonna see a squash match with American Alpha versus some no-name tag team, and probably the same thing for Carmella and Alexa Bliss. But let's also take into consideration how much time do you think they had to be able to plan this Raw out? Or will we be saying it's a 6 through 10 come in a month? Because they've had this plan since they announced the draft. They've planned this Raw out very well.
Mm.
That's the question you need to ask yourself. Juan says 7 out of 10. I think SmackDown will do before opinion, or he's giving a SmackDown 7 out of 10. Or Zach says a 9 out of 10. Reckless says
Well,
7 out of 10.
well, honestly, like you could still see SmackDown have the better show, but like in terms of like the best match of the week, like obviously we saw it tonight. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to top that this week.
The only
I
thing
mean,
that
they
sucks
wrestled
is
their butts
what
off,
sucks is
both of
that
them.
was a pay-per-view Caliber match.
I know,
Juan's
and they did it on Monday Night Raw.
which was needed. I think Raw needed something like that, especially with the new era, or the with the draft and the brand and the roster split. Juan says that he thinks SmackDown would be better. If SmackDown is better, it's because of there being the 2 hours. I can tell you that right now.
Hmm.
What do you guys think of the club coming out and destroying the New Day?
I had a feeling that was going to
I
happen.
love that. I love it though. I want to see them go for the titles, go for that back in the day. I think they're going to have a great feud, and I'm hoping they're the team to dethrone the New Day.
Again, I think it's a bit too late. But this is another great thing.
I don't know. I think they can still bring it back.
We have a big expectation, and if they're really wanting to make this a competitive environment with both brands, what are we going to have tomorrow with SmackDown? Are we going to have something great, or are we just going to have some we could see an IC title belt go up on the line because of the way it ended. I want to have a women's championship with SmackDown Live. No, the roster's not big enough for it. SmackDown might give us a huge treat, hopefully. Maybe. Let's hope for it.
But see, that's the thing you got to take in consideration. And like I said before, I've always been against the idea of making another women's championship, just because they went out and made this new women's championship. not too long ago. But if you are going to have two brands with two rosters of women, you need to have some sort of like stabilization. Like there has to be an opportunity for the SmackDown girls to challenge for the Divas, or not the Divas, the Women's Championship, or you have to have another championship on SmackDown. Because otherwise, what you have is what you had before, which is one show controlling the women's title, and then the other show just having women doing like really crappy storylines that didn't mean anything because it never advanced them to the title, which was the reason why they formed the Divas Championship to begin with, because they needed a second title, to offset what was going on with the Women's Championship.
Well, one thing I would like is to have it where the women are actually cross brand, and the only person from Raw or whoever has a championship that cross brands is the champion. So, like as of right now, you would not see Charlotte come on SmackDown, but you could see
Right.
Sasha come on SmackDown, and you could have SmackDown have a number one contenders, and basically have it where maybe once a month, or with a pay per view, or twice a month in a way, have it where the champion hosts their championship on that show, kind of like a home field advantage, and the Raw crowd supports the Raw crowd, and SmackDown, Raw crowd supports their champion, and then SmackDown supports their champion. In a way, you know what I'm saying? Have it like that,
So,
and you could do that.
so in another way, you're talking about like what they did with the Undisputed Championship when it first came out.
Yeah, and then have basically, while they're basically cutting promos on each other, having squash matches basically to make each other look stronger, and then occasionally have someone come on the brand and attack so and so. That's just something they could do. It's a lot, but that's just something they could do. When Roman lost, I thought he will attack Finn. There was a brief moment I thought so also, but they
I think we all
wouldn't.
did for a
But
second.
by the way, Juan, you were saying Roman lost to Seth at Money in the Bank. Roman lost to Ambrose last night, and then Roman lost tonight. You have to understand the guy failed the wellness policy. He would have been, it would have made the company look very bad if he was immediately back on top. So what he's doing right now is very, very, very reasonable. Reckless says I love Nia Jax's match. It was awesome for me. That's the point of a squash match or an enhancement match, is to make that person look strong and to make that person look very good. Can she do
But you
that?
see two different sides of the spectrum there. You saw Nia Jackson, her match look really strong. You see Braun Strowman, his match, not so much. And
Mm-hmm.
that's something that's really concerning.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, Braun Strowman with the Wyatt family hasn't done a lot. He sits on the side of the ring, and then once he's needed, he'll throw someone around. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, well, I mean, he's kind of like the Great Khali. He's unstoppable at certain
But
points.
the great Khali wasn't really that good on his
He
own.
was when he got pushed, because remember the one, it was going to be John Cena versus Shawn Michaels 3 on Monday Night Raw, and the Great Khali took every top name superstar out. Obviously,
Hmm.
the Great John Cena came on top, but still, I remember as a kid, I was still thinking wrestling was real. I was like, oh my god, there's no way Cena survives. Yeah, he was a powerhouse, but so was Roman Reigns with the Shield, and Roman Reigns is a lot better in the ring than Braun Strowman. I bet SummerSlam will have AJ Styles versus John Cena. Hopefully so. I really do hope so.
And then the big news of Brock Lesnar next week.
Yeah, I want to hear the reaction from either Paul Heyman or Brock Lesnar with the "I don't need an enhancement for that" comment that Randy Orton made. Trying to, the fatal four ways to me were the big ones. I thought Kevin Owens and Finn Balor looked the strongest. I think out of the other fatal four way, I thought that Sami Zayn looked the best out of all four. The reason why I don't give Roman Reigns the credit is because it was obvious that Roman Reigns was going to win the way he did.
Right.
Um, I thought Cesaro looked good, but I didn't think that I thought he looked better. Rusev was Rusev, kind of, in my opinion, does the same thing. Hashtag one HD it seems very obviously.
But I liked how they did the Fatal 4-Way matches. I like how they separated Finn Balor and Roman Reigns, and I like how they separated Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It was needed. You after what
Yeah,
happened and how they put an emphasis on it was the last time for a long time. You needed to separate them. You couldn't have them in the same match again.
that was one thing my brother said was, who won? And And I told him, he says, "Do you think they'll be in the same match?" And I said, "I hope not." You got
Mm,
yourself a supporter, by the way, Andrew. Brock versus Randy Orton hype. I would
there
love
we
to see.
go.
I would love to see Braun Strowman versus Brock again. That'd be interesting. I know that Vince McMahon wanted uh, Braun Strowman to face the Undertaker, but the Undertaker refused to face him. The Beast incarnated Brock Lesnar.
Incarnate, man. He's the man. He's gonna take him. He's gonna take some people to Suplex City, and then he's gonna get RKO'd. I'm calling it right now. Brock Lesnar goes to the F5, flips Randy Orton over into an RKO, and he gets pinned.
I've already thought about that, but I swear to God, if the person that Lesnar loses to and actually is pinned by is Randy Orton, I will be pissed.
It's possible. It's possible.
It is possible, and that's what's
The
scary.
It's
RKO out of
definitely possible.
nowhere.
Orton will actually be at SmackDown tomorrow.
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be awesome.
Well, I mean, he's back from injury.
Finn
He's not
Balor
a he's not a
defeats
part timer.
Yeah, he is. He's gonna be just
Right.
like Cena. Finn Balor defeats Roman Reigns to advance to the WWE Universal Championship.
Which is the worst name in
You know,
title
he
history.
said, I know you, like Mick was. I honestly thought for a little bit there was going to be like an online vote to vote for the championship name because he was like basically referring to it, and he's like, so we're going to name it the Universal Championship. It's like,
I was just waiting for it. I was like, please say it's this and this and this, and he's like, Universal Championship. I was just like, okay.
did you guys see some Eddie Guerrero from Sasha Banks, who is someone she idolized with getting
Oh
Dana
yeah,
Brooke
she
thrown out?
loved.
I called that. I called that before SummerSlam. I know some of you guys probably weren't listening, but I've been saying, or before SummerSlam, before WrestleMania, I've been saying that when Charlotte loses the title, if I was saying it was Ric Flair, but whoever is at ringside will either get kicked out or banned from ringside before that match. You can ask Kyle, too.
Well,
Absolutely.
it had to be done. It had to be done because
Hmm.
with Dana Brooke at ringside, it makes everything
Well,
impossible.
there's the feud for Dana Brooke right there. Dana Brooke versus Charlotte after SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen. You know.
Yeah.
Because Charlotte's gonna blame Dana Brooke for the loss. 100%. So, what'd you guys think of the new camera angles and everything with Raw?
I liked it. I mean, everything about the new Raw except the logo. I really liked when it was from the camera angles to the set to the ropes, just to everything about it. Even the announce table where that's at now. I just liked everything about it. Like I said, except the logo. The logo I still have big issues with because it just looks like shit.
You know, I honestly felt like there was more TV time than commercials this week. You know, like right after a match, that camera coming up to Michael Cole and all them. I like that. I really did. The new logo is growing on me with the stage, so
Mhm.
that's kind of where I'm at. I like the camera angles. I did too. Like I do think, you know, like I was saying, there is a few things I have to get used to, like the announce desk or the announce table being up there again. That kind of threw me off. And then some of the camera angles kind of threw me off because I'm so used to the old WWE, as we can now call it. I thought the club was going to help Finn Balor to beat Roman Reigns. No, I think Finn's going to do his own thing, to be honest.
I mean, you'll
Because
definitely see those three come together down the road, but it's probably going to be a good few months to a year, if anything,
Finn is
before we see that.
Finn is too easy to like, and he's gonna easily have people get behind him early. Like I was actually seeing a kid at one point when people were throwing his hands up, during his intro or entrance. There eventually I saw kids doing it, so he'll eventually have more people behind him. But it obviously takes time, and this is what this build up for the storyline will be. I can tell you right now, we're gonna see Seth Rollins beat down Finn Balor a lot to get the kids behind him. Um, and again, if he was to have the faction would need to be a heel. Face factions never work, never.
Hmm.
Every great faction starts off as a heel. DX was heel. Um, Evolution stayed heel. They never went face, which is great. The Shield was heel. Heart Foundation started as a face, ended up as a heel. Who's a babyface in Raw? It's a mix between, as of right now, I would say your top face would be Finn Balor. Roman Reigns is no longer your top face because he's no longer immediately on top of the title picture, and your number one heel, Seth Rollins.
which is refreshing. It really is, especially after having Roman Reigns shoved down our throats day in and day out. This is the first reprieve we've really had
Yeah, close to a
since
year.
his, in close to a year. I mean, without setting aside the whole drug uh, issue, which really didn't affect his appearance at the last pay per view.
Right. Just letting everyone
I
know
think now
this
we could
is.
see Reigns do a heel turn
It's still possible that, and I think that's where
a lot more now.
a lot more possible because I think what we're about to see is have a kind of a dumb storyline happen. Roman Reigns will turn heel one day. Believe that. Yeah.
Well, it's funny too because we were talking about the whole idea of him growing out his beard and how that was an indication that he might be flirting with that possibility. And then all of a sudden, Adrian Neville comes out with a beard, and I'm like, oh, there he goes. He's turning heel.
But we honestly
Same with Finn.
could see Roman turn heel. It's still very possible. Again, the only thing he said was he better beat Seth Rollins. I respect that dude. Who's the two Latina tag teams? That's the shining star. They're not Latino. They're Puerto Rican. By the way, I'm joking. If you
Oh my god, I was
if
just
you ever need inspiration to go to Puerto Rico, watch their promos. Guys, there's a
You know,
frog. There's a frog on my window.
I'm gonna go out and say this, and I hate to say this because, like, I would.
Like,
I mean, no, I mean, like, they've tried so hard to get over so many times with so many different gimmicks. Honestly, the only thing that would save the Shining Stars at this point is if Carlito was an end faction with them. That would be the only saving grace. Other than that, they're just going to fail again.
Even as a heel faction, they're awful. We're gonna get away from this ugly steel city and come to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it's just like I said, they've tried so many different combinations. At one point, one of them was in a faction with Carlito. There was the two of them, and they
It was
were like
Epico.
Epico, yeah, and they were like two-time world heavyweight or world tag team champions.
Maybe Roman will attack Finn Balor when he beats Seth and spears him out of nowhere. I don't know. Again,
that's possible.
that's way too far to really predict this moment. Um, I don't, matches. I mean, damn, that women's match was better than most of the pay-per-view yesterday.
Mm. Like, there's a lot of people that should be, getting their eyes checked and their stars on notice.
This James Ellsworth guy. I know he's a jobber and I know he was a squash match, but it's like they didn't even go to the to what's it called?
Not OVW.
OVW?
No, not OVW. They're like the local wrestling thing. It's like they just went to the side of the street. Hey man, you want to be a part of WWE? Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't look like he was a wrestler at all.
No, and then
They just picked somebody
I
from the
loved
crowd.
his interview. Well, who wouldn't want to wrestle WWE, but I didn't know it was him.
Yeah. But as long as I got two fists, I could do this. I'm like, I text Blake instantly. This guy's done in 3 seconds.
Hey man, at least he gets to say he lasted longer than the girl that faced Nia Jax.
That's true.
Reckless says I heard Del Rio might leave WWE. I would if I was him. He's being booked terribly, and the guy's great in the ring, but when he's being booked the way he is, why would you stay? But then again, Del Rio's a part of SmackDown. When do you think Roman Reigns will turn heel? We've been trying to predict this and say when they needed to. So at this very moment, I cannot tell you when he will turn heel, because at this moment, it's whenever Vince just finally says, you know what, we're gonna make you a heel. So could be tomorrow, could be next month, could be a year from now.
I mean, Vince is very determined to do what he needs to do. And you see that with what's going on with Braun Strowman now. He's wanted Braun Strowman in the singles picture for like about a year now, or almost close to a year. And now we're finally seeing it.
Strowman needs to be a heel, 100%.
Well, I mean, and that's what he's going to run with. He's going to be the Snitsky character. He's going to come in and dominate, and that's what I'm gonna call him from now on, Snitsky, because that's who he
So
is.
Kyle, let me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I
Oh, you're
really am.
good.
How about Mr. Irrelevant? I love that introduction. It's like, here's our next match. Ding, ding, ding.
Mr.
In our
Irrelevant.
ring, Curtis Mystery,
Oh
and
my
I love
god.
that. I love that look. He went over at JoJo's like, "Excuse me."
No, he owned up to it though. He even said he's Mr. Relevant because he's the last pick. He even owned up to it.
I love it. He will
Like,
turn heel slow by slow, huh? Okay. Reckless says he might turn heel after this WrestleMania. I would hope before, but there's no
Yeah.
telling.
no, it's gotta be.
I don't know. I'm
What the
still
hell? I
shocked
mean, the
that
big issue.
Heath Slater wasn't even
Yeah.
selected.
Did you guys see
I mean,
the
I don't know.
bruising on Sheamus's eye? I don't know why.
Yeah, I
I thought
saw that.
for a second there I was like, "Oh, Sin Cara whipped his ass," and I was like, "Wait, that wasn't Sin Cara. That was Simon Gotch." His face said, "Bitch." Oh, did you guys see this? The three guys with the sign during Roman's match with Finn says, "Stop pushing Roman."
stop pushing Roman.
I saw that.
They got it right.
No, they were walking like really fast, and I saw one guy look behind him, and a guy in a headset, obviously working for WWE's like, "Come here, don't do that." So
He's our
I'm just
Superman.
letting everyone
He's our
know
God.
this show will be really short because I have to go. I have family matters to attend to. I actually have to go now, so it's up to Kyle and Andrew if they want to keep the show going. If not, then I got to
I
sign
mean, I
off
would love
right
to. I don't
now.
know if I can with my internet though, because like you guys have been cutting in and out. That's why I've been kind of a little bit quiet. So I don't know if my internet will actually let me. As much as I want to keep it going.
And I know it's really short, but this is actually really important, and that's what I have to attend to.
Yeah, I apologize. I mean, I'll take blame for it, not even you, because my internet I can't control at the moment. I don't know what's going
Well,
on.
this one's my fault. So, what do you
It's all our
say?
fault.
What do you say, Andrew? You want to keep it going?
I mean, we could try to keep it going, but if Kyle cuts out, then we'll just end it.
Okay, then. The stage is yours, Andrew. Whenever you feel it's best, just be sure you guys have the chat open. That way, you guys can read it. By the way, chat.
Let's see if I can even
Yeah, see if I can
open
pull
the
it up.
chat.
Be nice to them, chat. Be nice to them. Okay. All right. Well, then I will be back. Obviously, I'll be here whenever. Just I'll be here. That way, you guys can close out the show. So, have fun, guys.
Thanks, man. All right, I got the chat open.
Okay, so you got the
Yeah, check out. So, guys, you let us know what you're saying. I'll try to hopefully keep my internet under control so I can actually have a conversation. That'd be great. Yeah, I thought tonight though was definitely like a great show. I would definitely give it, like you said before, an 8 out of 10. There was a lot of good things. I mean, like I said, the only real downside of it for me was seeing the Shining Stars because I hate seeing them so much. That was my only downside for it.
yeah, like the Shining Stars, man. Just like they failed so many times. It's not like what it should be, you know. See, the problem with the Shining Stars is the Shining Stars don't have that big pop that they need. And if they don't have the big pop, they ain't gonna be able to do anything. And like I said, they failed so many times as a tag team. It's just not working.
Yeah, it's really not. I hate it because they're really getting the shit under the stick, man. They could be so good and they just like they don't get that because they get just the worst gimmicks possible.
But I mean, how about the little cameo from the Golden Truth out there, like catching Pokemon all day?
What the hell? Like, oh my god! I get want to like the jokes and the funny games kind of thing, but it's getting ridiculous at this point. What the hell? In the
I
middle
mean,
of
they're
a match,
just
you
like a
come out
comedy
and
routine at this point.
They really are. Recco says Raw logo should have put more effort in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, Recco, my biggest thing, like I love the set, I love the ropes, where the announce tables had all that stuff about Raw, but the logo really looks like they had like Vince, like they just had like a kid come out and just put, okay, here, put the 3 letters in red and then put a line under it. Perfect. That's our new logo for the new era. Like they put no effort into it at all. It's so bad.
You
I
know,
don't know
it's
why they did
interesting
it. Like
you say
they
that
did
too, because the Raw logo now doesn't look that different from the Raw logo in the past.
Yeah, but it looks like the old school Raw logo, like way old school. That's what it looks like. They really went so retro with it.
But I mean, I definitely like what they did with the stage. I like what they did with the announced teams. At first, I was a little bit sketchy about it. Let's wait until tomorrow for SmackDown to be a little bit 100% on this. But at least for the Raw announced teams, I definitely think Corey Graves and Byron Saxton did excellent. I found myself a little less upset with Michael Cole. However, Michael Cole had a lot of botches today, like speaking certain ring moves. Like instead of saying the Pele kick, he was just like, "Oh man, what did he say?" It was like the upside down kick, or it was something really stupid. I think I texted Blake it.
Might have been
I
like
have
the
it in my
overhead kick.
messages. Yeah, it was an overhead kick. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Like what?
Yeah.
It's just the Pele, man. It's all it is. It's really just a Pele kick. It's not that hard.
And then how about the little promo with the New Day, with that jobber they had they brought on.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous, man. I don't know. Oh man, I can't handle it sometimes. It's just ridiculous.
Well, yeah, they are trying to make it more look like the Attitude Reckless, and that's the thing. Like if that's what they need to do, they need to get it more towards the Attitude Era, because the Attitude Era was their time to shine. That's where they had the most interest in the product, and ever since they went to the PG era, a lot of old time fans have dropped out and then have come back in recent days when the draft came out, because they are looking for the idea of a more edgier content. However, we're not going to see anything nearly as crazy as what we saw in the Attitude Era. I mean, where we had like bikini matches and pillow fights and hardcore matches, like legit hardcore matches, where it's not like, okay, Dean Ambrose is just going to throw Jericho into one little pile of thumbtacks and pin him. Hardcore.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I get like they're trying to add attitude, like you said, but you can't do that. You might as well just stop going retro, just go into the future, man. Just change things up. You're never gonna get to the past, how good it was in the past. You're not. You just gotta move on.
Well, I feel like it's okay to make a call to the past, because what it's doing is promoting the idea of change, and it's change is what they need the most. And with
Right. Yeah,
SmackDown already promising big change, and the words that Daniel Bryant used was he was going to take a lot of risks. Some things were going to work, some things weren't going to work, which leads me to believe that they're going to go towards the edgier content, where Raw is going to stay more PG. And if that's the case, SmackDown's going to be the show to watch. I mean, only 2 hours long. They need to do stuff to catch our attention because they don't have as much time.
Yeah, right. And SmackDown also gonna be better because like it's gonna be mainly about the wrestling, which would be a big plus. And that's one thing too. Like I remember like last night they mentioned tonight about Cesaro about not being happy about being on Raw. I still love that, and I wish he would have been on SmackDown though to see, because like I said, SmackDown's gonna be more about the wrestling. He's one of the guys that's way more about the wrestling, not the showmanship. And that's where I want to see a guy like him, a bunch of guys like that. That's why. I mean, I think on a weekly basis, I might be more excited to see SmackDown than Raw. And I think that's like a weird thing to say, but I think it'll really become that. I feel like the hardcore fans will want to see SmackDown more than Raw.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, obviously we're not seeing a change in era. I mean, that's definitely not going to happen, Reckless. But when we look at the idea of what we're looking for, change is good, and it starts with the arena. After the arena, then you can go into the idea, well, okay, well, now we want to kind of push the envelope a little bit, and that's what this draft is going to do. This draft is going to force them to push the envelope, because in order to keep a competitive string of content going, they have to not only improve the matches, which you definitely see in Raw, pick up on this, but you need to also kind of change the product in a way where you're entertaining everyone, and that's not just the kids. So you're probably going to see a little bit more edgier content. Will it be anything too crazy? Absolutely not. But would it be a little bit different? I think in the future, that's what you're going to see is a little bit of attitude coming back. Not too much, but just a little bit.
Yeah, that would definitely be a big thing that they should do. Excuse me.
So is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Any other topics that we haven't talked about that you guys want to talk about? We hit Enzo and Cass. We hit the main event with Finn Balor. We hit the Braun Strowman and Nia Jax match. We also hit the Sasha Banks Charlotte match. Other than that, there was not really that much that was going on, other than the announcement of the new title, which I am not looking forward to, the Universal title. I feel like that was a terrible, terrible name.
It was. I mean, I get why they did it, but I mean, I get they want to be different, but just go into the World Heavyweight Championship. It's fine. Just stick with that. Stick with what's good, not
You
with
don't even
like
have to
anything.
say World Heavyweight Championship. You could have just said
anything.
World Champion.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't go the Universal Championship. Like, oh my God, it's so bad.
Well, it's not the Universal Champion. It's the WWE Universal Champion, which is even worse.
It's so bad, man.
It's just
They're
even worse.
going to push all the new wrestlers.
It's
Yeah,
like
Ruckus, they're definitely
saying,
going to be pushing the new guys, yeah.
it's like saying your name is asshole. No, it's Mr. Asshole to you. You know, like it's still a terrible name.
It is, yeah, it really is. I don't know. Whoever approved of that really is not thinking with their right state of mind. I don't know what about that, but I mean, Ruckus,
the
yeah, I think they're going
writers.
to push all the new wrestlers. Yeah, the writers will always. I hate the writers.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna call it the Universal Championship because it represents you.
Genius.
Could you only imagine what that title is gonna look like? I'm shuddering to think what that title is gonna look like.
It'll probably have like the WWE logo with like a big like world symbol on there, something like that. It's like a big globe on it, something like that. It's gonna look so bad. Oh my God.
You know, that's kind of what the WWE Championship was.
Oh,
If you look
actually,
back in the old World Wrestling Federation title, it was the globe.
That's true.
And that
yeah,
was after, I think they retired that after Stone Cold changed the title for the first time with the Smoking Skull belt.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can see them bringing that kind of thing, and not the exact, but obviously, but that kind of thing back. They'll probably do. I mean, what else can they really do? I don't know how they can make it look better or symbolize Universal kind of thing without doing something like that. It's no matter what, it's not going to look good. It's going to be a travesty, and whoever wins it at SummerSlam, I feel bad for them.
So Reckless says, I think they're gonna push all the new wrestlers, all the NXT wrestlers. I think so, probably without the exception of Mojo Rawley.
You'd be surprised. I could see.
No, don't. Let's not push Mojo Rawley.
I don't know, man. We might, but yeah, I guarantee. Like on SmackDown, we're gonna see American Alpha get a big. I mean, we already saw tonight Finn Balor get the push of a lifetime already. Him already being in the main event of SummerSlam on his first night. On his first night of Raw, he had a fatal four-way. He beat three big names on the Raw, like on the Raw roster kind of thing, and he's in the main event against Roman Reigns and beats him to go on to SummerSlam to face Seth Rollins for the WWE Universal Championship. Like, that is the push of a lifetime. I can't believe they did it. I was shocked. We even said that like we thought Finn Balor was going to take a little while to get pushed. He was going to like get a slow pace, but nope, he went 0 to 100 on his first night. And I mean, I think it's great. I think it'll be great for him. But I just hope they don't do like pull a Roman Reigns kind of thing, which they can't. Yeah, he already has a following from NXT, but I mean, still, I hope they just don't like burn him out before he's.
Well, I knew they were gonna push Finn Balor because Finn Balor, they needed to do it. I mean, with Roman Reigns in trouble, they needed to do it. It had to be done.
Yeah, I knew they were going to push him too, but I didn't think they were going to push him to this point where his first night he's already in the main event of SummerSlam. Like, I didn't think that. Like, damn. But, I mean, that does open the door for Roman Reigns to turn heel, which I think he should do that as soon as possible because he has the opportunity, perfect one now, where they're going to have Finn Balor basically be the face of Raw. So that's a big plus there to get Roman out of there.
Welcome to the chat, Emily Taylor. She says Reigns is cool and SmackDown will be better. And yeah.
And look, Bliss can't wait for it.
Bliss can't wait for it. Hey, I'm the biggest
Oh man.
Alexa Bliss supporter. So like I'm totally there for you. But like Reigns is cool. Absolutely. I met Reigns at a Comic-Con. Me and my sister took a picture with him. He was awesome. The only thing we don't like about Roman Reigns, and we said this repeatedly on probably every show, it's like a repetitive cycle by now, is like we don't. It's not that we hate Roman Reigns. We absolutely don't hate Roman Reigns. We hate how he's being pushed down our throats. And like what they're doing with Finn Balor is actually going to help Roman Reigns, in my opinion, because now you're going to see Finn Balor more in that main event picture. It's going to take away from the hatred of having Roman Reigns constantly being that guy. And what it should do, hopefully, is give Roman Reigns like a new push later on down the road. Now that you're kind of shying the attention away from him.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said before, every great heel was a face before.
Absolutely.
That's what you gotta do, man.
And you know what? I've gone on it and I said it. SmackDown is going to be the better show. I've said that since the draft because all my favorite people are on SmackDown with the exception of Kevin Owens and Finn Balor being on Raw. But, you know, SmackDown is obviously going to be the show you want to go to if you want to see the impressive matches. Obviously, with American Alpha and their excellent technical wrestling. AJ Styles and John Cena, who are just epic when it comes to matches together. Ambrose, he brings like an exciting mix to the things. And, you know, SmackDown has the potential to be the better show. It just, you got to make sure that the writing is on point, and you got to make sure that you guys are putting on, you know, 5-star matches when you got matches like Sasha Banks versus Charlotte who are 5-star or better easily. And it's hard to do that when you have two excellent superstars in Sasha Banks and Charlotte who go out there and they bust their ass. And you see this with Sasha and Bayley. And like, again, surprise, Sasha's in the middle of it because she's an excellent wrestler. And the same thing with Bayley and Charlotte. They're excellent athletes. And when you give them the time of day, like they've been asking for with this women's revolution, you know, you say, okay, we're going to give you 30 minutes. Go out and prove us wrong. And they go out there and they prove her wrong. And look at what happened tonight. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte completely upstaged every other match that was going on by leaps and bounds. And that's because you gave them that 30-minute time window and said, have fun. So, like, I'm 100% on board for the women's revolution. I think that they can do exactly what men could do, if not better. I want to see the women in a ladder match. I want to see more Iron Man matches or Iron Woman matches. I want to see cage matches with the women because they can do it, and they would do it just as good as the men will, if not better. And Bayley and Sasha and Charlotte have proven that.
Exactly. You just got to give them that. Like you got to give them a little window. Like give them an inch, and they'll take a mile every single time. And it's going to keep growing. Like you said, we're going to see more. Like we start Iron Woman match, we're going to see more. I guess we'll see a ladder match. Even Money in the Bank, we'll see eventually cage matches. They're going to keep going. It'll take time, yes, but they're really like making leaps and bounds already, and we're definitely going to see it progress even more every single day.
Right. And I mean, it was awesome having Bayley, you know, up for, you know, our pay-per-view. And it is a shame she's going back to NXT, but I honestly feel like I agree with Blake and say that's the best thing. Have her go back to NXT, have a feud with Asuka, maybe beat Asuka, maybe not beat Asuka, and then have her get called up for SummerSlam, or maybe a little bit after that. But you should hear nothing about Bayley up until that point.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So what I'm going to do, guys, is we're going to get ready to call it a night. You guys have been excellent with the chat. I'll give you guys another 3 to 4 minutes to kind of ask any other questions you might want to ask or any topics you want brought up, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap the show up. You guys have been excellent. Once again, I want to thank you guys last night for being a part of the pay-per-view. Your comments were awesome tonight. Your comments are even better. Keep it up. We are very proud that you guys have been following us and supporting us. We really appreciate it. If you like what you're hearing, man, destroy that like button. Tell your friends. Spread the word. Come into the chats every day when we can just have a ball like this. I mean, you see how short the shows can be without the comments, and how much better the content is when you guys participate, and how we can actually have a conversation with you. And honestly, after yesterday, the guys and I were talking, and we honestly think that the next step, sometime in the future would be is obviously adding a call-in line, and I think that would be excellent. I mean, I don't know, what do you guys think? Would you guys be interested in something like that, where you guys can call in rather than type in for a chat?
Yeah, that's definitely something we're considering, and like you said, it would definitely be great to do. We get to have you guys in here asking questions, hanging out with us, having a few laughs together, all this stuff, and it'd be easy to get your guys' opinions. Yes, we can get to the comments, but actually talking to you guys and getting your live reaction kind of thing will be even better. And I think if it's something you guys want to do and you guys like it, definitely will be something that we'll definitely want to do as well. And you look at Emmett Teller giving you a great question, Angel. I'll let you answer that one.
I know. I was about to say.
Randy Orton.
So Emily brings up the idea of Orton versus Brock Lesnar. So what do I think about Lesnar versus Orton?
There's gonna be an RKO out of nowhere, feller.
There's gonna be RKO out of nowhere. I honestly think that Brock Lesnar is probably gonna dominate 90% of that match, and Brock Lesnar's gonna go for an F5 RKO. Is gonna come out of nowhere off at an F5, and Randy Orton's gonna take it.
But I think that's
That'll be so awkward if that happens.
It will.
It definitely can happen.
Flip flop around to try and get an RKO.
I mean, anything can happen after WrestleMania with Seth Rollins, which was unbelievable, that match.
Can I say one thing before I hit the quit broadcast button?
Absolutely not.
All right, guys, bye. We need your help, guys. Our lives depend on it. I'm just joking, it doesn't. But it's for free. You have to pay a single cent. Yes, Kyle, you don't have to pay for anything. All you have to do is subscribe. Support us. All you have to do. That's it. Hit the subscribe button. But be sure to tune in tomorrow. We'll be live immediately following SmackDown.
Yeah, and absolutely, it should be a great match. I'm definitely looking forward to Lesnar Orton. I've been saying that since it was announced. I've been a little fanboy about it. I mean, I'm probably the most excited in this chat for Orton versus Lesnar. I've been looking forward to that for 14 years, since both of them have taken off in their career.
Well, look, I think I'm going to sign off here. We've had a great show, 52 minutes. So until tomorrow, be sure you guys tune in tomorrow for our SmackDown Live review. So until then, for Andrew Bath and Kyle Lepore, I'm Blake Carter. Until next time, peace out.
See you tomorrow, guys.